I'm going to talk about SOW 47. The first thing I want to draw your attention to is that it is very similar to SOW 42, which is DJ trend lines. In fact, everything marked in yellow highlight is the same. What is not is new. I will draw your attention to what is new. The inputs, there are 6 of them. I'll go through them. And the trade rules. Specifically, we restart the trade every day. We restart the rule sets every day. There are a maximum of 3 trades per day. Okay, and the other notable is that there's an exit and a stop, whereas the other one there was no real exit. The other exit was an entry. So that is not the case here. Everything else is pretty much the same. So let's jump into it. These are the measuring tools of the 6 inputs. The first one is permission to draw 1, PTD1, which is 1/2 an ATR by default. The second one is permission to draw 2, which is 2/3 of an ATR. And the third, fourth, fifth, and sixth measurement tool is 1/3 of an ATR, and that applies to the retrace amount, the redraw bar, the redraw permission to redraw, the stop, and the target. Those are all going to be measured using this tool. So let's pause. Now I have already drawn the trend lines, but I'm going to go through them now. Again, there are 6 inputs. Use input number 1 in yellow is permission to draw for the first trade. Specifically, the first trade of the day, we use the yellow measuring tool. The second and third trade of the day, we use the white measuring tool, otherwise known as permission to draw 2. And the target and stop is the purple measuring tool, which is the 1/3 of an ATR, roughly. And also the retrace and permission to redraw when price runs away from the current trend line measuring tool is also in magenta. So again, the first trade of the day will be measured in yellow, and I'm going to read the rules. The first trend line to be drawn in the sequence is when the start bar is either the first bar of the day. Well, the start bar is always going to be the first bar of the day, which is that one over there. And as we get into the second and third trade, once we've entered our first trade, because of the rules, the start bar moves to becoming the entry bar for the rules applying to trades numbers 2 and 3. So for trade number 1 of the 3 trades in any given day, trade number 1, the start bar is the first bar of the day. For trades numbers 2 and 3, the start bar is the bar of the last entry point. And we know that for trades 2 and 3, there already has to have been an entry, whether it's a successful trade or not. Once we start the first trade, the entry bar becomes the start bar for trades numbers 2 and 3. But that will become explanatory as we move along. So we're going to start with this trade over here. Okay. So the threshold, the rules read, the first trend line to be drawn of the day is the start bar and the lowest point between the start bar and the current price, or the highest point between the start bar and the current price, whichever comes first, meeting the permission to draw threshold, and then we join those points together. Example, the start bar in this case is over here, and we take the lowest or highest point between the start bar and the current price, the first one to reach the threshold distance. And in this case, the price action is moving up, so the point between the start bar and the current price is the lowest and the highest, is this distance as we see it here.